How's it going? In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can forecast returning customer revenue so you have an expectation for not only yourself, but for your finance department, your customer service team, inventory planning on a weekly basis with different confidence intervals. So you literally have a forecast for each level of expectation, an optimistic view, a pessimistic view, and a realist view. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this. I'll try to make this as quick as possible so you can just get right down to the forecasting. All right, so that sounds good. I'll show you the steps here. Now on the first page, we have the monthly returning customer forecast, which really shows on a per customer level how much revenue you're going to be making from each cohort. So we break this down into new customers, recent customers, and old customers. And the definitions for these really has to do with when they last purchased, when their first purchase was. We're breaking down your customer list into different buying behavior, and then from there forecasting these out and then adding them back together. Okay, now with this we can assume on a given month, for March for example, how much we're going to be spending, what that new customer revenue will look like, what that recent customer revenue will look like, how old customer revenue looks, along with our efficiency, contribution, profit, all those really important metrics. We can see the ratio or the share of each cohort in relation to each other. Okay, now let's get into the data input and how you can make this forecast yours. All right, so we have a few different steps here. The very first step is adding in your acquisition metrics to go ahead and forecast for new customers. So the step here is we need to be adding in our historical ad spend and our projected ad spend from the previous 6 months and for the following 12 months in which you want to forecast for. In this example, we're starting with February. We're assuming that that is our start forecasting date. So we're going to look 6 months back and 12 months in the future or 11 months in the future. And so you'd go ahead and add in your historical ad spend for the last 6 months and what you expect to spend in the following 12 months. Now, if you don't know how to forecast for future spend, we have a tool that can help with this. I'll link it below. It is the new customer acquisition forecasting tool. But if you already know what these numbers look like, go ahead and throw those in. Okay. Then we have new customer marketing efficiency ratio, which is new customer revenue over total marketing spend. Again, you can kind of find this number just using Shopify or that tool that I already mentioned, but you're just going to, again, put in your historical numbers here and then your future values here that you're forecasting for. And for fixed costs, again, historical values and future values for the total fixed cost that you have each month. Okay. Next is AOV for new customers, recent and old customers. Now, this AOV, we're going to actually go back 6 months. For recent and old customers, we're going to only be looking forward 12 months. To get this AOV, you can just go into Shopify, go into AOV on analytics and filter here by first time or by returning, and then just pull this AOV number in here. And you can do first time for new customers and returning for both recent and old customers. Now, if you really want to be accurate, you can go month by month and look at your AOV by each and every month. I don't think it's too useful. Depends on the brand. If you have a huge AOV swings depending on the season, it can make sense to change these. Same with the MER, same with the spend here. If you have seasons where you're spending a lot more, a lot less, you have way better, way worse efficiency, absolutely change those numbers. For the example here, I just have them as constant. Okay. So after you throw in your AOVs, we move down to the Shopify customer segment key. Now here, you're just going to copy and paste these queries in to separate and kind of pull apart all of your customer segments into their individual pieces. So we're going to be separating this out into a few different segments here. And again, all you have to do is copy and paste these. You go into customer segments, new segment on Shopify, go ahead and just paste this. And then you can pull your customer account here. And again, you'll just be doing that for each of these queries. And we already completely wrote them out for you. So it should only take a minute to throw these in, apply, boom, 924, and you can do that for each of these segments. Cool. And this last one obviously is just a calculation. That gives us our active repeat customer rate as well as our churned customer rate as well. The last step here are these rows, and this is going to be pulled from the customer cohort page on Shopify, analytics, customer cohort analysis, put it on last year, pull from customers, just note your total cohort size and then month 1 through 6. And again, you can just see total cohort and month 1 through 6. Very simple, easy, right? Last is the costs, which is going to be what percent of AOV is cost of goods sold, what percent of AOV is cost of delivery, which is packing, storage, any kind of warehousing fees there, if you cover shipping, that kind of stuff. and then percent of AOV, that's credit card processing, product return rate, and then any other percent of AOV costs. So this is going to be a percent of your average order value that represents a cost, whether that be taxes or any other miscellaneous fees that you have to pay, okay? Once that's in, this will be updated and you can see what your customer flow looks like. Okay, so you can see your churned, your current customers, and you can see how that looks over the following 12 months and over time. And you can see that for each customer section. Now, if we go to our monthly forecast page, again, we can see in March, for example, what we're expected to spend, the revenue, how much of that revenue is new customers, recent old customers, what that efficiency looks like, what that contribution looks like, what those fixed variable costs and profit looks like, and of course in the charts, what our profitability landscape looks like, how our customer cohorts interact with each other, and what that cash allocation looks like. And on the following page, I'll let you discover that for yourself on the weekly forecasts. What this will ultimately do is give you a week breakdown for each month and give you different confidence intervals for each given forecast that you can disperse to the relevant department at your company. Okay, that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions. Go ahead and get forecasting so you can have real expectations around what your inventory planning should look like, what you should expect for returning customers in the following month, and go ahead and share this tool if you found it useful. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.